Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. I got this idea some time back, so yeah guys, here it is. What if Naruto fused with the 6 Infinity Stones? Yes guys, the 6 Infinity Stones. As we all know, Thanos is the wielder, and there has been others. However, I'm not going to use the Infinity Stones in the movies. I'm going to use the one in the comics. That means they're going to be a lot more powerful, guys. Yes, because the ones in the comics are basically the same, but they have a lot more vast range of abilities, and a lot more they can do. And this what if will be taking place partly in the Naruto universe, and then in the Marvel, and then in countless other universes. Yes guys, Naruto is gonna be a multiverse traveler after a while, but first it will be in the Naruto universe. So yeah, if you like that, just sit back, relax, and enjoy. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Begin now guys. Power. That one word. It was what he needed. It was what he desired. Power. If he had that, he wouldn't be afraid anymore. And if he had enough, he would be unstoppable. He would be untouchable. He would become a god. After all, God feels no pain. That was the complex thoughts of the young boy that was seated on a rather large rock. He had bruises all over his arm, a nasty gash in his face. His right eye was swollen shut. His shirt was bloody. His nails had a lot of skin and blood underneath it. After all, he did fight back. This boy was known as Naruto Uzumaki. He lived in the Hidden Leaf Village, the most powerful nation out of all. There were 5 of them, and he lived in the strongest. You might ask yourself, what was he doing out here this late in the night, and why was he bloody and dirty? Well, that was simple. For as long as he could understand, everyone hated him. They despised him. They treat him like a monster, like he was a fiend, a biological, disgusting germ. Yes, that is how they treat him. The only person that saw him as not a disgusting beast was the Hokage. The Hokage was good. He was nice, but he couldn't be everywhere at every time. He's been alive for 7 years now, and the past 7 years has been hell. There was no doubt about that, starting from the orphanage, because he did not possess parents. When asked about this, the woman there said that no parent would want a monster like him. That had hurt him badly. However, he always tried to push past it. He could have taken the other route, becoming a stupid, idiotic child, trying to hide away from the pain, but he went the other way. He festered that hate that he felt. He did not lock it away. He let it consume him. He hated them. He hated everyone here. He almost got some friends. Her name was Ayam. Her father was Tuki. They gave him free ramen. At first he thought it was poison, but he was so hungry, and he had just been kicked out of the orphanage. He had no choice. He was so hungry, and the smell was enticing. That is when he realized that it was okay. It wasn't poison. It was just a wonderful delicacy. Those people were nice to him. However, he heard whispers. He heard others calling them demon lovers, and some people plotting to make sure that they don't feed the demon. Naruto didn't want them to be hurt. He didn't want them to suffer because of him. They did nothing wrong, and he knew that he didn't have the power to protect them, so he lied. He created a fuss, screaming at them that they were trying to poison him. The looks on their faces, it broke something inside of him. Of course, it was a lie. He ran away coughing and spitting, saying that they mishandled his food, saying that they were trying to kill him. He ran away. The Hokage had spoken to them. He came back to speak to Naruto. Naruto had told him that it was a lie, that he should not do anything to them. He just didn't want them to get hurt. He told Hiruzen everything that he heard the other people saying, and Naruto just didn't want them to get hurt. At least they were left alone. Since then, which was a long time now, he hadn't eaten any ramen. Yeah, life was miserable for him, and he did not even know why. That was the crazy part. Most times he would just be walking in the night and he'd get attacked, knocked around. The culprits were never found. The old man tried his best, but the village was large, and having to defend himself against those blows raining down on him, he did not get to see their faces all too well. However, he did fight back, but he was just a 7-year-old child, a stupid, weak child, and he could not defend himself because he possessed no power. This world was out to get him, and he didn't know why. He didn't know why. He didn't know what he did to deserve all of this. The old man, as much as Naruto respects him, the man never tell him the truth. He must know something, but whenever Naruto asks, he skip around the question, behaving like he did not know. He also refused to tell him who his parents were. Naruto knew that his parents were dead, but he just wanted to know who they were. But the old man was always skipping around the question. However, Naruto could not find it in himself to hate Hiruzen, because if he did, he would have nothing and no one, and that would just leave him empty. And he didn't know if he could take it. So yes, he just pushed it away like he always did. However, he despised all these people within the village. He hated them. They always tried to hurt him, harm him in some way or another. All he wanted was just power. If he obtained power, then they couldn't harm him anymore. Unknown to the young blonde, as he was sitting and thinking, hurtling through space, were 6 objects. They were stones. One of them orange, one of them yellow, green, purple, blue, red. These powerful stones were covered by a white aura as they hovered and spread through space, moving at immense speed. Where they were coming from, no one knew. They just spread through the sky, splitting, tearing and ripping through the fabric of space. And they could do that. However, they found themselves traveling to the elemental nation, and one unlucky boy, life was going to change forever. Naruto was seated as he got off the rock. He decided to walk. Maybe if he had stayed where he was, he wouldn't have achieved them, but it was destiny, fate. Yes, it was. Naruto continued to walk until he heard something. When he looked up, he saw a bright light. He had to squint. Boom! The stones came down with such a force. The forest that Naruto was in was massive. The collision eviscerated all of the forest. It was all wiped away, erased from existence, leaving nothing but dust and debris. Every single citizen of the village was immediately awakened or aware of what just happened. A massive tremor shook the entire Fire Nation and beyond. Powerful streams of light exploded into the sky, dazzling everything and everyone. Harrison Saratobi, who was having a late night, was already on the rooftops, flanked by his envoy. As the ninjas were spreading to make sure the village would be safe, blazing through rooftop to rooftop, Harrison moved at his fastest. The envoys couldn't keep up. With the recent attack of the Nine Tails, he refused to let another collision happen like that would stain and scar his village. Bracing himself, Harrison arrived towards the once forest that was now nothing but dirt, dust, and debris. The man was shocked. All of the forest was gone. The animals that reside in it were all eviscerated, vaporized. A massive, gigantic crater lie. Strange lights, green, blue, purple, all sorts of them, were coming from down in the center. Harrison jumped down as he landed a distance away, not going directly there. That is when a bright light went off. Something started to come together. All the lights start to merge. Orange, gold, green, red, blue, purple. They merge together and form something, bringing something back into reality. After all, there was nothing there. Harrison was shocked when he saw Naruto lying there, completely fine. Not a scratch on him. His clothing was different though. Harrison leaped without even thinking as he picked up the young boy, checking his pulse. His pulse was stable. However, on closer inspection, Harrison saw red veins running through his face, blue veins, green, purple, yellow, and orange veins running through his entire body, arms and legs. And where did he get these clothing from? The old man had no idea. He quickly started to give out orders for his envoys to check the perimeter. As he took Naruto, time skip. Harrison brought Naruto to his personal doctor, a man known as Dr. Yamamoto. The old doctor checked over the boy. From what I can see, there is nothing wrong with him. He is completely fine. What about these veins? Harrison said. I am not sure. I have never seen anything like that before. Dr. Yamamoto could not explain what they were. As he looked at the young, sleeping boy, suddenly, Naruto's eyes snapped open. Harrison looked down towards him, and what he saw frightened him. Inside of Naruto's eyes were a black, empty void. On deeper and closer inspection, it seemed to be full with thousands, millions of stars. Tiny universes converging upon one another. Harrison was unaware of any of this. As Naruto blinked, and his blue eyes could be seen, he pulled himself up as he sat up. Harrison was in front of him, placing a hand on the boy's shoulder. Naruto, he said, are you okay? Dr. Yamamoto stood there. Naruto jumped off the table. He did not hit the ground right away. His feet hovered over the ground before they landed on it. Harrison noticed that as well, as Naruto glanced up towards the old man. I'm fine, he said. You are? Harrison asked once again. Yes, I'm fine. I'm really tired. I'm going to go home now. Wait, Harrison said. What happened out there? I found you unconscious, in a massive crater, and all those lights. What's going on? He said, trying to get some answers. I'm not sure. I was out in the forest one moment. The next, an explosion came out of nowhere, and then I woke up here. What about your clothes? Harrison said. Where did you get those? as he could tell that these were not sell anywhere in Konoha. Naruto looked down as he was wearing a white, open shirt. The colors were golden. The neckline was golden as well. He was wearing a white shirt underneath that, and it had long sleeves. He was wearing white long pants, same golden at the end, and flat white and black sandals. I do not know, said Naruto, looking towards the old man. Hiruzen stepped forward. Naruto, are you sure that you're feeling alright? Naruto turned his gaze towards Yamamoto. I presume that you had the doctor run tests on me while I was unconscious. Was there any problems with my test? Naruto said. Yamamoto realized that Naruto was talking to him. No, you're 100% okay. Naruto turned towards Hiruzen. There you have it. May I go home now? He said. Hiruzen was quiet for a moment before he nodded as Naruto started to walk away. That was a rather strange interaction, if I must say so myself. You're not wrong, Hiruzen said. Something is not right. Then why did you let him leave? I believe that keeping him here would just cause more problems, Hiruzen said. He raised his hand as an envoy dropped down right beside him. Meanwhile, as Naruto was walking home, he was calmly making his way. He died. To an extent. His body was vaporized. However, his soul was contained. Along with his memories, the only thing that was destroyed was his physical form. However, with the combination of all the Infinity Stones, he was easily able to form a new physical form, far better than the old one. Well, he doesn't have the fox inside of him anymore, but he does have the beast contained. A lot has happened. So much in such a short amount of time. He was there, trying to find a way to get power, trying to obtain power. And now, everything was different. He had knowledge that he never even knew existed. The 6 Infinity Stones. A long time ago, 6 singularities exist. When the explosion of the Big Bang brought the universes into existence, these singularities were forced into concentrated mass. The 6 Infinity Stones. Naruto had no idea why he was chosen, why they came to him out of all the people throughout all the universes that exist. He had no idea why they came to him, why they chose him. That was something that he just did not know. But now, his body was made up of them all. Space, mind, reality, power, time, and soul. He could see and understand things that he never thought were even possible, that he never thought even existed. This body that he now wielded, it was different than his old body. It was made from the stones. And yet still, maybe it was his childlike mind before. Maybe it was his interest to not just be turned into a force. He still retained emotions, everything. He was still himself, not some being of light or power. He still remembered, he still felt every single thing. Maybe he did this to himself, giving himself the ability to sleep, to eat. After all, with all this power, he shouldn't be able to worry about those things. But he did it to himself, before he was able to transcend to whatever he was now. However, he liked that. He didn't want to be just some force of power. He wanted to control this power that was festering all over him. As Naruto was walking suddenly, he stepped through a portal. The next moment he was inside of his apartment. He looked around at the mess. He brought his hand up and snapped his finger. A red wave washed over the apartment. The clothing, the mess, it came alive. The clothing folded itself neatly and placed itself away, the dirty ones going in the hamper. All of the containers, everything that was supposed to be disposed of, went into the bin. His bed spread itself on its own. Everything fixed itself, the broken walls, the chip on the ground, the broken pipes, everything mending itself together as Naruto bent reality at his fingertips. However, this was just a small scale compared to what he would be able to do. He could feel it. His power had not reached its peak. His understanding of the concept, it seems like his body was recreated as a source of all the infinity stones. That meant it was like a child growing up. His power was growing as he rose. However, he still had access to a large source of the powers resonating inside of him. However, soon enough when he reached his peak, he would stop aging. And this body would never die. It would transcend through time and space and go even beyond that. And then, his power would be unlimited. He had the Power Stone as well. Unlimited forces to crush anything in his wake. But for now, it was not there yet. Nowhere there yet. And he was still so powerful. He was amazed to what he can do. He was amazed to what he could see, what he could understand. As he was talking, he could feel his power. It was growing. Yes, and it felt so amazing. He couldn't believe what he was now. He had big plans. Big plans for the coming future already. His mind was working so fast. There was countless different realities out there, combining the mind with the space stone. There was many things that he now knew. But it was not time for that yet. He was going to fix this world, fix the elemental nation. Now that he had the power to do so, Naruto walked over towards the bed. As he sat down, it seems it didn't matter how he fight it. Soon enough, sleeping and eating would become a thing of the past. But for now, he shall enjoy it while it lasts. As he closed his eyes and slept. In his dreams, he had full control. A dream was just a figment of the imagination after all. Naruto started to plot in his dream while his body gets some rest on the outside world. Things that he wanted to do, what he wished to change, not just in this world but when he leave it, what he was going to do beyond it. But before that, there was a lot that he had to do, a lot that he had to complete. His power was rising and growing as we speak. The next morning, Hiruzen had his envoy watch Naruto. And there was nothing. The child just went home. And nothing. However, unaware to said envoy, Naruto made the envoy saw what he wanted the envoy to see. The envoy did not witness Naruto stepping through a portal because Naruto did not let the envoy see that. Just a quick work of the reality gem. It was easy. That is why, when a portal suddenly opened up in Hiruzen's office, he was startled. As Naruto stepped out of it, the old man backed away immediately, getting out of his seat, trying to understand just what the hell is going on. Naruto, he said, dressed in the same clothing as before. Naruto stood there, his gaze looking around the office. You are older than me, so in your mind you believe if you told me about who my parents are, I might go around spilling the truth. However, I'm confused. Why did you keep the secret that I had the 9 tails stored inside of me away? That would have been useful for me to understand why the people of this village despise me, why they hate me so much. Hiruzen blinked. Do not fear, I know everything. I know that my parents are Minato and Kushina, the fourth Hokage and the last Uzumaki. Upon my death, I was able to link to the nine-tailed consciousness and his mind, to know that he was stored inside of two other Uzumakis. I was able to watch that scene from his eyes. They died protecting me, and they loved me very much. The thought of bringing them back came to mind. However, I don't believe I'm strong enough yet, but I will be soon. And even if I do that, I would be upsetting the natural order and balance of life and death. However, it wouldn't be the first time one acquires such powers. But I just want to make sure that I'm strong enough to face all the fallout of my actions. Hiruzen was sweating and confused. You're wondering how I know all of this. The explosion that took place last night. 6 powerful gems that has been across multiple universes found themselves in my possession. Upon their impact with the elemental nation, my human form was eviscerated. However, with the soul stone and the reality stone and the mind stone, I was able to retain everything and create a powerful vessel. It might look the same, but it is not. Hiruzen looked at Naruto like he had gone insane. Did you just say that you died? Naruto stepped forward. It is best if I let you see it. Immediately, all the Anvus arrived. They were in the office. They were also freaked out to hear what the child had said. There is no need to be alarmed, said Naruto. I wish him no harm, despite everything that he's kept away from me. I can tell that he did it because he cared, and it pains him every time knowing that there wasn't much that he could do. After all, you're a simple man, and you are just that, a man. At the moment, I am still human, but soon I will not be. However, human emotion and feelings would not leave my core. I will make sure of that, because without feelings, there is emptiness and nothingness, and that is not what I desire, and I can make sure of that with the powers I wield at my fingertips. Naruto stepped forward, but the Anvus reached for their blades. I see. By my logic, I'm making perfect sense, but to you people, I might seem insane. Hiruzen raised his hand, stopping the Anvus not to make a move. He stepped around. I'm not sure what happened to you, but we're gonna help you, he said. And we're gonna make sure that everything is alright. Help me. Don't you understand? I'm far better than I've ever been. Now come, let me make you understand. Naruto extended his hand. The distance between him and Hiruzen was there. However, Naruto bent reality in this small, little area and made contact with Hiruzen's head, confusing everyone there. It only took a second. Hiruzen stepped back. His mind. Naruto made sure that his mind could understand what he fed it, to make sure that he doesn't go crazy. While his power was limited at the moment, there was still a few awesome things that he could accomplish. What did you do to the Hokage? One of the Anvus said. Stop. Hiruzen said, his eyes closed. All of you, leave. There's a lot that me and Naruto has to discuss. They turned towards him. Naruto has done nothing, he said. I am 100% in control of my actions. Now, vacate the room, he said. They looked toward each other before they nodded and vanished. Hiruzen sat down as he reached for his pipe, as he lighted it with a quick fire jutsu. Naruto stood there. Hiruzen exhaled the smoke from his mouth. All of that you showed me, yes, it is real, said Naruto. So do you understand now? How could I not? Those stones that basically fuse with you. That is what happened, right? Yes, to an extent. My soul and my mind. I used them to recreate this body. So, you're Naruto. Yes, of course. I said to you already. Human emotions is something that I don't want to give up. If my mind had not been retained, what you would have been left with is a emotionless counterpart of myself. And I believe that part would have caused mass mayhem. Because without emotions, there are some things that I would have done that would have left the remainder of this village in fear of my name. They've treated me horribly. This morning, I was going to wipe out a whole number of people in this village. A fearful look came on Hiruzen's face. However, because of the emotions I possess, it allowed me to think things through. It was then that I walked through the village. Upon my walk, the hate that is sent my way. All of that hate can be summed up for one emotion: sadness. There was so much sadness. I could peer into each of their minds. I could see what they lost. Their emotion was there, out for the picking, so I latched onto it. All of them, they lost someone. And the only reason why they're alive right now is because I can understand the feelings of loss as well. So yes, having my emotion is a good thing. So that means I will not execute them, said Naruto. As much as I would want before. My mind, my grasp on things are far larger than it ever was. And these people are just suffering, and they want the outlet, even though it angers me that they use me as that outlet. My mind is now evolved enough to understand things that I never knew before. That is why I am not upset with you either, said Naruto. However, I cannot stay here. What? Hiruzen said. This world is broken. In my dream last night, I separated my consciousness from my physical form and spread it around the elemental nation. And this world is trapped in chaos, civil war, bloodshed. There is so much that can be done. And at the moment I possess the power to do something about that. I'm not sure why these stones choose me. I'm not sure why. I am what I am now, but I have the power. And it would be a waste not to do something about it. So you came here to say goodbye, Hiruzen said. Exactly. And now that you see, now that you know, I hope you know that you trying to stop me would just be a waste of time. Yes, I do know that, Hiruzen said. Naruto allowed him to see the fragment of the powers, the fragment of each of the stones and what they can do at his hands. And Hiruzen could tell what he was being shown would be the reality if Konoha was to try and restrain Naruto. Last night, during my flight, I was able to see things within this village, the suffering that was taking place. And one that is suffering so much is Itachi Uchiha. I know about what is taking place. I also know the desire that Danzo wants. He has given Itachi an ultimatum. He either wipe out his clan or Danzo will do it for him. Itachi wants his younger brother Sasuke to live. And by wiping out his clan, it's the only way that he sees it. Otherwise, it would lead to a civil war, which will take countless lives. And that is not something that anyone desire. And that choice is keeping Itachi up at nights. He's truly suffering, that is why. Before I leave, I will rectify a few mistakes. A few mistakes that you should have ended a long time ago. Naruto said. Hiruzen felt guilty, as he knew exactly what Naruto was talking about. This was a lot to take in, but after what Naruto showed him, he realized for himself that Naruto was no longer tied to this village. He had no idea, not even Naruto, why these things chose him, but they did. And now everything was different. Hiruzen was quick to understand that. He had to ask though, "Where will you go?" he said. "After I'm finished here, I will fix this world. I've learned a lot from Kurama." "Who's Kurama?" Hiruzen said. "The Ninetales. That is his real name. I've learned a lot about this world history, the past, and many more. And there's a lot. There's a lot that I need to do before I leave." "And go where?" Hiruzen asks. "There's a whole multiverse out there. Vast unending universes. This body of mine, eventually, it will stop aging. And time will cease to exist to me. I will be able to control it. By the time I return back to this world, you will be long dead," he said. "But you will die in peace." Naruto said to him, "I will pop back in maybe a few centuries, to see the advancements of what the elemental nation will become." Hiruzen looked at Naruto to think that just yesterday, everything was so different, and now, "Yes, I know," said Naruto. "How much life can change in just a few short minutes." Naruto walked towards the man as Hiruzen got up. Naruto hugged him. "Thank you for everything that you did for me." Hiruzen hugged back Naruto. "Be safe, and I wish you luck on your journey. A long time ago, Jiraiya came to me with a prophecy about a blue-eyed youth that will bring peace to this world. And now I see it," he said, as he gazed into Naruto's eyes. "But not only this world, you will bring peace to this universe." Naruto gave him a smile. As he started to walk away, "There will be a lot of problems that will rise after my cleansing of many things in this village, but you know it is necessary." Hiruzen looked at Naruto. "There has been a lot that I've let go on in the past, and now I don't have the power to fix what I've let pass away. But you do," he said. "I will handle the fallout of what is going to happen. Just make sure that the bloodshed and war come to a stop." "I will," said Naruto. "Goodbye, old man." "Goodbye, Naruto," Hiruzen said. Naruto stepped through a portal, and he was gone. Hiruzen looked toward the spot that Naruto stood, as he couldn't believe that all of this was happening. He wasn't an idiot, he wasn't a fool to believe that he could restrain Naruto here, especially with that ability, that he could just teleport anywhere that he see fit. He had a small control over space at the moment, and eventually, he would have control over it all. Those powerful stones. Naruto was basically a god. Yes, he was a god. Time skip. Naruto was inside of Danzo's secret base as he simply appeared out of the portal, shocking everyone that saw him. Naruto was standing on a bridge that connected to another. "I must say, this is a rather large place you have here," said Naruto. Danzo Shamura, the boogeyman of shinobis, who was seated on his makeshift throne. The man was perplexed, confused, shocked, downright blinking in pure confusion, as he wondered if he was seeing what the hell? The nine-tailed Jinchuriki appeared out of nowhere. Wait, what? Danzo wanted to know if someone was tampering with his mind or something. This was just not what he was expecting. Immediately, all counting root ninjas inside rushed to his aid. His two personal, Fu and Torun, standing behind him as they quickly moved to his side. What are you doing here? Danzo had to ask. I am here to kill you. If things were better, I would. Just manipulate your mind, but you see, my powers are still a bit dormant at the moment. Not as strong as they could be. And besides, you have been nothing but a virus on this village. You have done a lot, but the things that you've done, some of them, most of them are horrendous. But do not worry. Your death will lead to new beginning. I will make sure of it. Naruto said, stepping forward. The Anvus got in his path. Fu, Danzo said. Sir. Fu went through hand sign as he quickly sent out his astral form out of his body, a connection of his soul to take over Naruto's body. But that was a really stupid thing to do. But he was not aware. Naruto held his hand out. An orange glow covered the spectral form of Fu, who was a Yamanaka. All of them blinked, including Danzo. That part of Fu could not be seen by normal means, and yet Fu was confused as he was looking at his own body. What is going on? He said, looking around. I just saved your life. If you were to enter my mind a moment ago, the weight of it would have eradicated you. You have no idea what is going on up here, said Naruto. Now, go back. Naruto flicked his hand. Fu's spirit was launched as he slammed into his body and slammed into the wall. Naruto held his hand up as a purple energy started to twist and convulse in his hands, followed by a blue energy. The both of them combining together, space and power, and a little bit of red, which was reality. Once he was finished, Naruto created a black sheet, katana. The blade was blue and humming with energy. A little creation of mine. It will grow in strength as I do, Naruto said, walking forward. Suddenly, the bridge that he was on gave way. Danzo started to fall, and all the others as well. Danzo blinked as he found himself falling through a portal before he collapsed on the ground. He was now right in front of Naruto. Danzo was on the ground as Naruto grabbed his skull. Naruto placed the tip of the blade on his skull. Danzo screamed. Yes, he did. A violent scream. All the root ninjas started to jump down as a purple wave exploded out of the bottom of the blade. Every root ninja was sent sailing, crashing into the wall. Danzo's eyes rolled back as he collapsed. However, Naruto's hand was then covered by a green glow time, followed by an orange glow. He placed both of his hands through Danzo's chest, using reality. Naruto then started to shock Danzo's insides. It was like a spasm. Danzo's eyes snapped open. Before Naruto pulled his hands out, Danzo looked at his hands, seemingly confused, not understanding what was going on. What did you do to me? I set you right, Naruto said. Now, instead of going behind his back, you can work with Hiruzen. I told you that I was here to kill you, and I did. You are not the same man, and at the same time you are. However, you can feel the changes, can you not? Danzo nodded as he picked himself up. I also made sure that was back to normal. Danzo unband the bandage off his head as Naruto was holding a Sharingan eye in his hand. This never belonged to you. I will return it to the person that it belongs to. Danzo took off his sling. His arm was now back to normal. Not a scratch on it. His face was healed. His eye had returned. not the Sharingan that he had stole. Tears came to the man's eyes as he looked around. Danzo, a man that wasn't supposed to be crying, was tearing up. Why? Why would you save me, he said. After all I've done to these people, the inhumane things that I wanted, why? Danzo was crying on his knees. Naruto placed a hand on his shoulder. As I said, that man is dead. And you are different. These people, all of them here, lead them right. Show them a better path. Konoha can still remain strong without the bloodshed or chaos. I know that there needs to be darkness for the good to prevail. However, certain darkness will eclipse even the good. And that is the ones that I will get rid of. Those corrupting darkness. What are you? Said Danzo. I'm not sure. I can't define myself at the moment. However, take care and speak to Hiruzen. I'm sure that he will forgive you. After all, the two of you were the best of friends. Wait, the Uchiha clan, I know, said Naruto. I have it handled. With that, he was gone. Danzo got to his feet as he looked around at all the people around him. Things that he's done. However, Naruto was right. That person that did this was gone. He could make a difference. And he will. Time skip. All the Uchihas who were a part of the coup were called for an emergency meeting. Yes, they were all gathered. Given the fact that it was daytime, they figured that it was something big that they should be aware of. So they all made their way towards a secret location. Fukaku Uchiha was notified that someone had called a meeting. Something big was to discuss. The person that called the meeting was none other than his son. Given the recent allegations between Itachi and what happened to Shisui, he quickly made his way down there. Majority of the clan unaware of what was taking place. All the fighters were down there. Fukaku arrived as he looked around. Where is he? And Uchiha glanced towards him. Oh, my son. Your son? Should he be here? The man asked. He too was concerned about the recent allegations and the way Itachi was behaving. I was notified that he called this meeting. What? We were told that you called this meeting of great urgency. No, I did. All of them turned. They were shocked when they saw a child. However, to what child it actually was, they were rather shocked. Before their mouths could open though, silence, said Naruto. Upon saying that, all of their mouths were gone. Everyone was shocked as their hands reached up to touch the empty space there. They tried to scream but nothing came out. It's alright. Your mouths aren't actually gone. It's a simple reality illusion mixed with a bit of your mind. Internal illusion. At the moment, I can't hold this for too long. My power is still in its slow phase. So, I will let you all understand what I'm going to say using my mind, which will speed up my process of not holding this for too long. So peer into my mind and try to understand. As Naruto said that, a yellow wave washed over all of them. What Naruto showed them was Danzo, the new man that he had become and what he did to Danzo. But he did not just show them, he let them understand. He let them know. He also showed them the outcome of the Civil War. Countless outcome. These are not just a fragment or illusion. This is what will happen if you decide to go through with your plan. All of you will die. Your forces are strong and you will end up bringing down a lot. But in the end, every outcome, 1682, you will all fall. If it's not now, it's few years from now, from outside forces, or from any of the other sources that you're seeing at the moment. All the Uchihas' mind were blown, as Naruto made sure that they could comprehend what he was showing them. Everything then returned back to normal, as he could not hold it for any longer. Fukaku and the others were silent. None of them expected that. In reality, it was just a few seconds, but to them, it was like hours went by, as they witnessed everything. It was fast, but inside of those pockets that they witnessed, it was like days. They saw their plans, they saw how they fail. In one reality, they were killed out by the clans of Konoha. In another, the clans were ready for them and retaliated because of Danzo. In another, outside forces wiped them out. In another, tailed beasts were brought. It was so problematic. Fukaku was the one to step to Naruto, as Naruto let them understand what he was wielding. Those glimpses, are they the future? Yes, said Naruto. So you can see, your actions from this moment on will be the deciding factor of what you will do. If you choose to go through with your plans, your loved ones, your children, they will all die. Neither forces will be reasonable in allowing survivors. The outside forces will eviscerate all of you. Is that really what you wish? You've seen it. Now it's your turn. There will be a council meeting called today. Many past actions will be rectified. Danzo Shimura will pull his actions against you people. However, it will be up to you all if you can forgive him for what he's done, for pushing you out. The populace will slowly change their mind once they see the unification of you and everyone else. So, it is up to you. Naruto said, walking away. Wait. How? What are you? Fukaku said. I've been asked that 3 times now. And to tell you the truth, I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll find the answer soon enough. With that, Naruto was gone. Meanwhile, with the real Naruto, Itachi was shocked, as Naruto was able to let him witness everything. I will keep your secret. So will everyone that know of it. They will never know how close you came to doing what you wanted to do to ensure their survival. Itachi looked at Naruto. As Naruto was hovering, he placed a hand on Itachi's shoulder. Your suffering is now over. There is no need to bring them all down. I'm sorry. I did not retrieve this power sooner. If I did, Shisui would still be alive. I know what Danzo has done has been horrendous, but trust me, he's not the same man, and he will never be that man ever again. You can forgive him if you please, or not. The choice is yours. I've not robbed your ability to make a choice. I believe in your father and your people, that they will do the right thing. You are the future of this clan. Lead them into greatness, said Naruto as he started to float away. You're leaving, Itachi said. Finally speaking, yes. There's many more that suffer just like us. And I have the power to help them. And there's many more out there, and many things that I can do. I leave the rest to you, said Naruto as he was gone. Time skip. Danzo, Fukaku, Hiruzen were all in the office. Fukaku couldn't believe it as Danzo humbly apologized to him. He never thought that the day would come where something like this ever happen. Danzo also apologized to Hiruzen and made amends. Hiruzen forgave him. Fukaku was not so sure, however, if they wanted to work together to bring forward a better future for not just one but all. He will be willing to listen. Hiruzen nodded, glad that that was the outcome. What of the child? Where is he? Fukaku said. He's gone. Gone? Yes. He wasn't going to stay here. His plans was just to fix what he had to and then leave. But he made me a promise that no fall or damage would ever come to Konoha, as long as he exists. And that would seem to be forever. He's now out there in the world. I'm sure that soon enough all of us will hear of all the things that he will be doing and the things that he has done. Very soon. The three men stood there. Three of them coming together to make Konoha a better place. And none of it would have been possible if it wasn't for Naruto Uzumaki. Meanwhile, with Toki and Ayam, Naruto, after all this time, had came back to them. They were shocked when he told them that he knew about the Nine Tails. The reason why he did all of that was because he didn't want them to suffer because of him. Toki had immediately discarded that, saying that he was willing to help the child. It didn't matter what people think. However, something was different. He was saying goodbye. He let them understand and know. They were both shocked beyond their wildest imagination. They knew that he was special, but this was incredible. The boy was going beyond this world. They never thought that something like that was even possible. Naruto hugged the both of them and thanked them for being so generous and kind to him. But he must be leaving. As he left, something was left behind. It was a large case. There was a note on it. Your ramen is the most wonderfulest thing I ever tasted. Business might be small now, but everyone must know of the greatness of your ramen. Use this to expand your business. They both opened the chest as their eyes went wide. Time skip with Naruto. He felt refreshed as he rubbed his hands together. There was so much that he had to do. In the short amount of time of cleaning up Konoha, he has gotten vastly stronger. And he believed that he could do this now, without any problems. His whole body turned orange. As Naruto disappeared, he was gone. It happened so fast. Quick and fast. The Shinigami made a deal. Whenever the Shinigami made a deal, the soul of the person was taken by him, and they had to spend eternity fighting. However, said soul was plucked out of his grasp. The being of death, just a fragment of the original being of death though, was perplexed by what just took place, confused. Meanwhile, Minato Namikaze looked around. What was this? A moment ago he was fighting, but now, where was he? He did not understand. He looked, trying to find out where exactly he was, not quite understanding what was going on. Minato? Minato turned when he saw Kushina? No. What is this? Some sort of illusion? Minato, it's me. No, that can't be. My soul. The Shinigami said, it's alright, father. It's really mom. The both of them turned to see. Tears came to their eyes almost immediately. They knew who it was. Kushina crashed right into him, wrapping her arms around him. My baby boy, she said, hugging him tightly. She then pulled back. No, 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 no. You can't be here. Look at you. That means you're... No, I'm not dead. You're not? How are you here then? There's a lot that I need to explain. Minato then saw something behind Naruto. The gigantic, nine-tailed fox. Don't worry. I took him out as well. After all, I'm going to reunite him with his other half. I must let you all know what's going on, said Naruto looking toward his mom. So, I'm really here. I'm free, said Minato. I told you that already, you idiot, said Kushina. Minato started to laugh as tears leaked from his eyes. He's with his family, despite not knowing what the hell was going on. The mere fact that he was with his family brought tears to his eyes as he rushed forward and embraced the two of them. But guys, me and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace, guys.